How can someone look at getting the right buyers to the table?
Well, this is where the art of the deal comes in, because often it takes a lot of creativity. If we're selling a technology company, I can't call up the chairman of IBM and say, "Hey, I've got a client you're going to love, and by the way, but by the time we're finished here, you're going to pay twice the market multiple." And that is not an effective selling technique. So in that case, what I would probably do is develop some marketing tactics to get the attention of the right buyer. If it's IBM, I'm going to make sure that I'm marketing to some of the second tier, third tier people about the company in general. Not that it's for sale, but what it does. We may take out some ads in trade journals that we know those people read. We may want to make sure it wins an award in their industry. Anything we can do to take out, to get the attention of the buyer before we ever go to market. We would prefer, in an outrageous situation, that we've induced the buyer to call us first before we call them. It sets the table much better.
So do you actually work with clients beforehand before you get set to do it? And typically, what's that process? How long is that process? I don't want you to get into the details. I want people to buy the book, obviously. But
No. We've worked as long as 2 years. We did a deal in the highway signposts. You see, your highway signs are held up by those metal posts.
Yep.
Tyco is a big player in that business. Our client owned about 1% of the market. Tyco owned about 90%. And to get their attention, it's a public bid business. And so what we did was, we had our client, let's say that the average price of those posts was $1,700 a ton. We had him run a Mother's Day special for $900 a ton. We made it a Mother's Day special just to kind of poke fun at everybody, be a little lighthearted about it. But Tyco called the next day after we published the bid, saying, "What are you doing? You guys are nuts," and et cetera, et cetera. We said, "Thank you very much, goodbye." We did this a few more times. Eventually they say, "Why don't we come down and see you guys?" And we said, "Why?" "Well, we think we ought to buy you." "Well, we're not for sale." We were very much for sale, but we weren't ready yet to tell them that. And so we had to play it out. So that's why it took 2 years. Eventually, in that case, they paid $14 million for a business that you and I would have paid about $2 million for.
Wow, you were playing hard to get, obviously.
Absolutely, but we kept kicking them in the shin with these bids. So anything we can do to get their attention, even if it irritates them, it at least is getting their attention to what we're doing. Because this guy had developed some technology that allowed him to make signposts a lot cheaper. So they bought the company and destroyed the equipment. They did not want to use that equipment. It's very fine.